Israeli forces are inside Gaza and fighting pitched battles with Hamas. But what weapons is Hamas using in their hit-and-run battles against the IDF? Now, the Israelis recovered thousands of weapons from Hamas during the October 7th terror attacks. Let's break down this arsenal. Now, first you have the RPG-7. The RPG-7 is the AK-47 of anti-tank weapons. It's a simple rocket fired out of a tube. The tube rests on the firer's shoulders and it can be rapidly reloaded. It's designed to defeat tanks, infantry combat vehicles, armored personnel carriers, and even helicopters, aircraft, and buildings. It has a range of around 900 meters, but its effective range is only half of that. Now, Hamas knows that the primary IDF ground strike weapon is the Merkava main battle tank, and hence it's issued hundreds of such weapons, the RPG-7s, with instruction manuals to its fighters, advising them on the vulnerable areas of the Israeli tanks. Hamas also uses these Soviet-origin light machine guns which fire a 7.62 into 54 cartridge. These are used against infantry and unarmored vehicles. Now, very interestingly, this is a Soviet-origin Strela SA-7 man-portable air defense missile. It's a surface-to-air missile carried by single soldiers. Hamas has several of these man-pads dating back to the 80s and the 90s, but these SA-7s are primarily first generation, second generation man-pads missiles. They're ineffective against countermeasures deployed by IDF helicopters and airplanes. Now, coming back to the RPGs, the Israelis were the first to pioneer reactive armor. This armor uses explosive charges to dissipate the force of an incoming projectiles. And in fact, most countries today have this kind of bolt-on reactive armor on their tanks. So what the other side, the Soviet side, developed was the tandem charge rocket-propelled grenade that you see over here. This was designed to defeat reactive tank armor. As the name suggests, tandem charge means there are two charges. The first charge explodes on the reactive armor. The second charge follows closely and explodes in the same spot to destroy the tank armor. This is a Soviet-designed RPG-29 portable anti-tank rocket launcher. It's a very large weapon carried by infantry, again a single soldier. It's a 105 mm weapon. It's deadly for tanks. And what you see there is an RPG-27 disposable anti-tank rocket, light, easily used and disposable. Now, anti-tank mines like this one here are meant to damage or destroy tanks, armored vehicles, and trucks. These are usually pressure detonated, which means that it explodes when a vehicle passes over it. You can see from this arsenal that Hamas has deployed considerable resources towards damaging, destroying battle tanks like the Merkavas and the infantry combat vehicles that the Nemer that the Israelis have developed and deployed in Gaza. Now, like every other insurgent group, Hamas has an arsenal of easy-to-make improvised explosive devices. Now, these are primarily meant to ambush dismounted infantry, soldiers patrolling through the streets, etc. These IEDs are packed with plastic explosives and thousands of steel balls, each of which have the velocity of a rifle bullet. These IEDs are remotely triggered and they have a deadly kill zone around them. Like for instance, this IED here has a kill zone of 120 meters and the one next to it has a kill zone of 40 meters. These are very lethal weapons deployed by insurgents to ambush soldiers in urban combat. Now, Hamas also uses regular commercial drones carrying explosives like airdrop grenades or IEDs that are designed to explode on impact. These commercially available drones can also be packed with explosives which are then designed to crash onto the target. In fact, every group, insurgent or even state actors today deploys these kind of drones. This has been one of the big lessons from the Russia-Ukraine war. And all of these weapons, in fact, make urban warfare the nightmare it is for conventional armies.